Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. In today's video, I am going to walk you through how I created this junk journal out of an old planner that I got from Hobby Lobby on clearance, and just used what I could out of it to create this really fun mermaid themed junk journal for my niece Megan. I'm sure she's gonna love it. It's for her birthday, and yeah, I just couldn't resist using the mermaid theme. So I hope you guys enjoy, and let's get into it. Okay, so I thought that I would just slow it down for a minute and show you how I took the back and front cover off of this spiral bound planner, and I turned it into a cover like this. I'm going to be sewing the signatures for this and then putting them into a hidden spine so that you don't see when I sew the signatures into the journal cover. You won't see the sewing on the outside here. I took a piece of cardstock out of here. It was one of these cardstock separators in this really pretty print, and used it to create the spine here. And then once I do the hidden spine in here, you won't see the rough edges of this. It'll look nice and finished just like this does. These have pockets, and I used really cute scissors with a, you know, kind of like a wave looking pattern, just to kind of go with the theme of it being mermaid, so that you can see a really cute cut line here, and it's not just a straight cut line. Gives it some character. I'm gonna start working on making some signatures. Okay, so this is a signature, which is basically just your section of papers, however many you want to put in there. I suggest, after doing the junk journal that I made, which is here. If you've watched any of my videos before, you will have seen this. But I started out with like 4, you can see here, 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4 signatures in this, pretty full signatures, but you don't want to start out with your base real thick, because you're going to add a bunch of stuff in. The point is to kind of make it like a, you know, a scrapbook, memory book, glue book, just to put anything into it that you want. So there's going to be a lot more added into it besides the base pages. So my suggestion would be to not make your signatures too thick, because the journal will thicken up over time once you start adding stuff. Especially with me, I like texture, and so a lot of stuff that I'll put in will have, you know, some thickness to it, which is gonna really bulk out the journal. But anyways, that's what a signature is, and so I'm gonna start making some signatures to go in here, and I am gonna try to keep it in these really pretty colors. I am gonna put some like tea-dyed papers and things in here, but I do want to add in mostly stuff that will kind of go with the color scheme for the mermaid. I'm gonna do a hidden sewn spine, and I will show you how to do that. So basically you need a piece of cardstock, or just something that's a little thicker, nothing major. You can go a little thicker than this, like some chipboard or something, but you don't have to, because you're also going to be putting another piece of like decorative paper over top of it so that when you glue it in, it's all hidden. So you want to take your piece of cardstock, and as long as it's going to be tall enough to where you're going to sew, so basically that 3-hole that I did here, it just needs to be able to be the length of that. So I'm going to cut this to the width of the spine here, and it doesn't have to be anything super pretty or anything like that, as long as it covers the width of the spine, because you're not going to see this part. And so everything can bend without too much, yeah, that works. So because I pre-did these, they're all sewn kind of differently to accommodate the papers inside. So I'm gonna have to accommodate each hole to match that, because I don't want to create any new holes. Normally with this method, you would want to get all of your holes exactly the same for each signature. But since I kind of know what I'm doing, I'm just gonna adjust each one to fit what it is. So basically, I'm just gonna put this here, and let me mark first really quickly. So you're gonna have 3 signatures, so you're definitely gonna have a line right down the middle, and it does not have to be super perfect. It just needs to, you know, you're basically just spacing out your signatures on the spine. So this is pretty much 1.5 inches. So your center point is going to be 3/4 of an inch. So right there. So I'm gonna do that again in one other spot here. Now I can get myself a straight line. And now I think I'm gonna space these at least, I think I'm gonna do just 1 centimeter apart will be perfect. Now here's where, for me, the trickier part is gonna come in, because I need to figure out what order I want my signatures in, and then I'm gonna match up the holes for each line, where they're gonna go with what holes I already have made. This is gonna be 1, 2, and 3, because once I flip this, that's the order it'll be in. Okay, so back to 1. So normally this wouldn't be as tricky. Okay, so the hole is there, the hole is there, and the hole is there. For that one, this is 2. Okay, and the hole is there, there, and there. And then for 3, it's going to be there. Okay. So now what you want to do is you want to take the piece of paper that you're going to cover the spine with, so that when you glue all your signatures and the piece down, this covers everything and makes it a nice finish. And I'll show you what I mean. It just needs to go further than the width to cover up this hard edge on the inside of these covers. And then you're gonna glue this. You wanna still see this part, so you wanna glue this down right in the center here. Now you're just kind of gluing this down. You just wanna make sure that it's evenly top to bottom, because of how your signatures are gonna sit on here. Now I need to make my holes again for sewing. Okay, so see, now this, I'm going to sew my signatures in here according to these lines, and then this gets glued down with the signature sitting on them, and everything has a nice finished look. Now you wanna make your holes again. Make sure you have your padding here. Here is the first hole. So here's the holes for the signatures. And again, normally you would just sew them all the same exact way. And you would have a straight line there, straight line there, and a straight line there. But we are customizing it to the signatures I had already made. So through the middle, and through the middle hole of that signature 1. Now through the top hole of your hidden spine, and then through the top hole of your signature. Oh, all right. Remember, you don't want to pull your tail out. Okay, and then through the top hole there, and through the top hole here. Okay. All right, pull everything there. Bottom hole, and then the bottom hole of your hidden spine. Go. And then back through the middle hole. There we go. And then here's where you want to make sure everything is nice and tight. Check the back side. Everything looks good. Okay. And then here's where you tie it off again. Make sure your tails are on either side of the middle. Tie it off, and tie it off again. Yeah, first signature there. Okay. So now we do the same thing with signature 2. Now on to signature 3. Okay. So through the middle of the hidden spine. So it takes just a little finagling, but it's pretty simple once you kind of know what you're doing. So here's like with the page flipped over. So through the middle hole of the signature and through the middle hole of the hidden spine. Now we go back through the top hole of the spine, and then through the top hole, down to the bottom hole, and then back through the middle. So make sure that's pulled, make sure that's pulled. Everything on the back side's nice and tight. Strings on either side of the middle string. And tie it off. And there you have your 3 signatures on the hidden spine. And now what you do is you take your journal cover and you're going to glue this down like that, and you have yourself a finished journal. And then you just want to make sure that everything lines up, and then you just want to press everything down. And of course, make sure you glue it in the right way. So I do have my first signature in the front, and then you want to make sure you get in between your signatures and push these down. And now you want to make sure that you get these bent and that the paper doesn't buckle or anything like that. And you want to do that while the glue is maybe still drying, so that if it shifts a little, or if it needs to shift a little, it can. Because once that glue dries, it's not going to shift as easy. And then do the same thing to the back, and see how that's buckling. I want to make sure that spine is really glued down and not coming back up. So just do whatever you feel you need to do to get all that pressed down. If it buckles a little bit, honestly, it's okay, because this is glued down and it's not going to go anywhere. But I would prefer that that spine stay down, put a little heat to it. Try to get that glue to dry faster. All right, so I think I'm gonna let everything kind of set and we'll come back to it. Okay, so the next thing I decided to do was use this piece, the Let's Be Mermaid. So I wanted to cut it out. I use this to get a nice straight cut. So now that'd be really cute right there. So I want to ink up the edges. I really like inked edges. And now I think that looks a little better. Okay, so just some final touches on the journal cover here. I didn't want this to say 2020, obviously. So I found this other little insert that was in the planner that I got all these materials from. And I thought this would be cute to put right here on the front. And I think I'm gonna clip the corners. And I think that would look super cute right there. Although I think I'm gonna do some inking on the edge with my blue, like turquoise colored ink, which should be fine. I do have a navy, which might look good, but I'm gonna try this and just see, first of all, how this would, like I said, it gives it a dark enough edge. I just somehow feel like it just gives a finished edge. Yeah, so it just kind of like frames it, I think. I'm gonna use some of my double-sided tape. I get the double-sided tape from the Dollar Tree. I, by far, like this tape. I mean, there's other tapes out there that I like, but for the price, this Dollar Tree tape, double-sided tape, is fabulous. I love it. And then you just want to press this down. Let's see, some tapes are very, very difficult to get the backing peeled off. As long as you have this tape pressed down, the backing comes off pretty easily. There we go. Okay. And we are going to put this down. All right, I'm gonna kind of try to center it as best as possible, but still covering up those letters. Okay, I think that looks pretty good. And there you have it. And then I also made this cute little bookmark. You can get these at Hobby Lobby. It's a 2-pack, I think, for like $1.99 in the jewelry shop section of jewelry. And then I just put some cute little charms on there that were ocean themed. And this little heart charm I've had like forever. And I just put some of this mermaid paper inside of it. And then that just slides in here and then hangs out really cute over the spine. And then I made this little bookmark after some paper that I cut out and added a little tassel to it. Just, I like having stuff hanging out of my journals, so I thought she'd like that. And there you go. So I really hope that you guys enjoyed this tutorial. If you have any questions that I did not answer during the video, just leave your comments below. If you like the channel, liked the video, subscribe and ring the bell so that you can be notified the next time that I upload a video. Until next time, happy journaling. Bye.